Right. This video here, as I'm sure you can see the title, is about going through some of the evidence that this Kathy Kramer has sent to me. What her and Heather think is, well, they've proven it against me. I'll put the audio in again, just so you can hear it. Right, and I've done that, and there's video evidence before I went away. I've put weed membrane down. I've cut it back, so I'm sorry, that accusation is not correct.
That's fine. Made our decision. Okay, so that is the option.
Well, I think you're out of order, personally. I've proved my case more than anything.
But you haven't, because we've proven it against you.
You haven't proven it against me. Have you seen the pictures?
We've sent you loads of pictures saying that you've...
and I've sent... I can give you hundreds of videos to show you that I have been working it.
Planting some potatoes in some pots isn't cultivating the land.
I've got tomatoes on there, or tomato plants. I've also got seeds.
You've got as well.
So, obviously on the screen you're seeing a letter. Now, this is what I get from Kathy. Every month she sends me a fucking stupid letter like this. A recent inspection shown that the allotment you rent from the council is not being fully worked. How many videos on my channel are proving that I am fully working it? Your plot has lots of weeds and the grass needs cutting as it looks untidy. How many videos have I shown you of me doing that? How many videos are on my channel? So that's just nonsense. Alright, that's a little bit better. Right, over here, so look, there's the shed. The stupid shelter's come down again. Right, this is the top bed. I'll put these on today. And all that there is rain. Still coming down quite heavy out here. Right, today I've joined all this up to there. Over there I've overlapped. That's one or two long pieces. I know it's not ideal, but it's raining and blustery as fuck. I've left that bit for now, but eventually I'll have a bit that's cut out so all of them can do it, and all of this is done. And this is the light on the camera, so I'm hoping you guys can see. Not done much over here, apart from put another bit there, because obviously those side bits weren't covered. I need to still do that and move it. Then of course down here, so I'm getting there. Slowly but fucking surely. Look at the grass. You can see how fucking saturated it is. It's been a bitch, man, to tell you the truth, to get them spikes in. So, there's not much more I need to do because I'm feeling fucking ill as fuck, man. Oh, I feel dizzy. I've had the fucking storm. I'm not good. I just need to bag up some compost and they're going to get rid of some of it for me. Take my shit and get the fuck out. Got to put that away. Obviously, weed membrane. See if you can. This is the aftermath. I don't know if you can see it, but it's absolutely pissing down my rain. I'm under the fucking shelter, which I have to keep repairing. I don't know why I put myself through this. I really don't. I'm ill and then I get this shit. Trying to put weed membrane down, look. Absolutely soaked. Fucking... Right, man, I planned ahead to put this shelter up. It didn't fucking last long. You can see my head's right here. So yeah, it's a bit of a bitch. Hopefully it dies down so I can finish my weed membrane. But I need to go out and get my weed membrane because it's going to get piss wet down on it. So, peace. So, Kathy Kramer, where was you taking pictures and investigating when I did the work, when it was absolutely pissing down with rain on me? Where was you? No? Nowhere? No. And look at that torrential rain. Ain't gonna take long for that shit to grow back. Facts. So, it just proves to me that you're purposely picking the times to take them pictures. I've got hundreds of examples of me working, and she shows people around allotment plots, and I've said this point so many times, I'm getting tired of saying it. But the facts are, she shows people allotment plots. Okay? So, and there's tons of abandoned ones near me. So if you was an unbiased person, somebody that didn't have it in for me, then at the end of the day, you would say, oh, okay, look, he's been working on his allotment. But your letters don't read that. Your letters, and I've got one in front of me, not the same one that's on the screen. At further inspection showing the allotment you rent from the council was still overgrown and not being worked. I'm going to put in more videos when I get time. The problem is when you upload them, so when it's on my phone, it tells me the date and even the time. But when you put them on a new device, because it tells you date creating, it changes it. So it makes it a little bit harder. Because obviously I edit it all on the computer and record audio around it and make it into a presentation. But at the end of the day, I think there's enough proof of you purposely picking the times when it suits you. Because I don't know how this all works, if you have a set day or not. But like this letter here, Tuesday, December the 11th. Okay. See if I can find another one. June the 28th, May the 15th. Well, they don't seem to be the same day, do they? So is it possible, Kathy Kramer, you have got an issue with me and you're just purposefully picking pictures when it suits you? I think so. Now, even when I've been doing that, now they bring up the broken cage that has been there for 2 years, which is actually factually incorrect. The cage was there before I even moved on to the allotment. And obviously we had bad winters and all the rest of it. It got, you know, it was broken. The broken cage, to my knowledge, and I'll even check my videos, I'm sure it hasn't been there 2 years. It's been there 1 year. Now, where does it say in the contract I have to take down a broken cage error? I said this in one of my other videos. This is one of their arguments. This is the first time they brought it to my attention. Getting up close to when, well, a few weeks really from my trip. So, I would remind you under Clause 2 of the tenancy agreement, you are responsible for keeping the land free from weeds and maintained in a good state of cultivation and fertility. So let's go through that. I do my best to clear weeds. At this time, I don't think I got the actual strimmer by now. I might have done. But I believe I was doing it by hand. And I've explained this 1,000,001 fucking times. When you do it by garden shears, it takes a lot longer. And with me living so far away and having to rely on buses that are always late, I'm sometimes waiting an hour to even an hour and a half to get a bus. Right, but I still do it. As much as I hate it, I do it. And she always goes on about an inspection. Well, this woman runs the allotments. Kathy Kramer runs the allotments. One of her duties is showing people around allotment plots, and there's plenty abandoned near me. So, it's funny how she doesn't take pictures then and notice when I've actually done stuff, when I've got plenty of videos. No, she waits when there's been a bit of rain, a little bit of growth. Maybe I've not been able to get there, I've not been feeling too well, or something's happened. And then take some pictures, which we're going to get into in a minute. We're going to use our own evidence against her. Please let me know as soon as possible if there's a problem with you not being able to maintain the plot and whenever you still require the allotment. I haven't let her know any problem, and I still want the allotment, which I did ring her up about this. Even though I've rung her up numerous times around this date, leaving her answer phone message, which she claims she never got. Yeah, okay, well, every one of them. I'll be expecting again within the next month.
And I've already showed you the videos where I've worked on it within that month, which kind of leads to my point about her evidence. Okay. So, okay, we're on to the pictures. So I always get these pictures, although you have to excuse where it's a bit folded up. I've wasted enough of my life going through these videos and recording. So I'm not going to bother scanning it again, but it proves enough. Now, she is clearly very biased. All she wants to do is get me off the allotment. Because what you're looking at here is at the bottom of my allotment. At the very bottom. See, you can see the next guy's allotment, which is also overgrown. And you can also see, to the left of the picture, the abandoned allotment. So right there, you put two overgrown areas together, and that automatically makes the one in the middle automatically look worse. And all you can see is a specific angle of her prejudiced and biased. Okay? Now, as I said, this is at the very bottom of my plot. Just to the right, you can see the compost bin. Okay. So, what does this show? On this date, whenever the hell it was that she sent it, or took the picture, I should say, that it was like this. Well, as I said, it's the bottom of the allotment. And if you look at the very top, and I'll try and see if I can zoom in, or maybe I'll put another picture in. It doesn't look that bad. If you look right near the top where the shed is. But she's purposely showing this shot where it looks bad. Now, as you can see, the cage is broken, which I wanted to fix. But as she keeps riding me about weeds, weeds, weeds. But if you've seen any of my other videos, you've seen me cut this area back numerous times. This so-called evidence doesn't show anything. It's made to me look in a bad light. That's all it does. Because to the left of it, the very left, you can discard, not my allotment. To the right of it, again, not my allotment. It's just to basically make me look like I've not been doing it. Now, in this area, I will admit, I don't tend to cut this maybe as much as I shouldn't. And she takes full advantage of that. Thank you, Kathy. And we all have an area on our allotment that tends to get a little bit neglected. I'm not growing there. And I'm trying to grow. That's what I pay the money for. Not as Kathy seems to think, so she can order me about and this is not done and blah, blah, blah. Probably from a woman who's never grown in her life. Maybe I'm wrong, but it certainly doesn't see it. Wait, look what I do.
Maybe I did. I've cut a lot of this back. But yeah, cut a lot of this back. But I need to do a lot of tidying up down here, man. I'll make this look a bit better. It's all time. I'll show you what I did in there properly in a minute. But there it is from here. So when I had that stupid bitch tell me, oh, nothing's been done in here. Man, what is she, blind or stupid? Even in there, I've cut a lot of this shit down. It's not perfect, because it's hard to get into, because obviously it's not stood up. Being of you here, you can see it's been cut down. You can just see, poking out, is my plants.
So obviously I've ripped up the weed membrane, but as you can see, the weed membrane killed a lot of it off. As you can see, dry, dead grass and weed. Yeah. So after your picture, what has been done? And there's a good chance that I probably did that before I even received your... I mean, for all I know, we could have went at the exact same day. Maybe I went after you took your picture. I mean, it could have been. I don't know. Now, in the next clip, I know it's very difficult to showcase, but in the picture where she's actually taken... I didn't really show a lot of that. But you might just be able to see for a split second that it's been cut back, which is kind of a bit annoying on my part that I didn't actually showcase that I cut it back.
Stupid. Anyway, peace out. Peace and love. Hope everything's good in your world. Woods the rap. Peace.
Nice try, Kathy. Won't work. Now we're going to look at the next picture. I mean, typical when I start recording and the fucking neighbours start having a fucking war up there. But anyway, next picture. You saw how bad it was in context. Now look, it's been cut down and it's clearly grown again. And as you can also see, in the compost bin itself, there's fresh grass been put on now. Doesn't look as bad. Again, you can see the allotment to the left. Still overgrown. You can see a little bit overgrown on the next allotment. It's taken it at an angle to make this all look bad on me. Because you can see quite a lot of allotments there. And that gives the illusion that all of that's mine. No, I have this small little strip. So if you look at the very first shed, next to that is mine, just past the fruit cage. And as you can see, it's not as bad. It's an area that I will grant does get neglected. But you've seen videos, if you've seen it, and I'll put the links in the description, of me cutting inside the fruit cage. But lots of people at the bottom have this bit slightly overgrown. But as you can see, it's been cut down. Okay, next picture. Right, actually, going back. You see, this was taken the 15th of May. Now, unfortunately, I don't keep all of my bus tickets. The only thing I can show, which kind of basically proves Kathy wrong, is that I went there in that month and tried to clear it up. You can see the bus ticket. Now, obviously, I would have had ones nearer, but I don't have them all. It's lucky I even have that. But my picture here proves exactly what Kathy's does. Nothing. On that day, I went to the allotment. It doesn't prove that I went before or I went after. What does it prove? It just proves that I had a bus ticket, I went there, and I went back to the allotment. That's all it proves. Same as her pictures. Nothing. Okay, so let's look at the next picture. Right, so you can all see this picture. And she's trying very hard to make me look bad here. You can just see to the corner, weed membrane. And if you look just behind or in front, technically, you'll see weed membrane just in front of the wheelbarrow. Now, I always mention about the rain. Well, let me tell you something. That wheelbarrow is full of rain. Full of it. That is there in the picture. That's what it's full of. So, between the 3 or 4, maybe even 5 days, because sometimes I don't get down there. But whatever it is, there's been at least that much rain. And as you can see, it's slightly tipping. So that means water has probably come out of there. So all of that would accumulate to a few days of it not being cut down. Now bearing in mind, these are supposedly, and I've got no proof of this, but supposedly taken the same day, which all proves my point overall. On this day, it looked like this. But she's trying very hard, because let's face it, I think she's been a bit petty, to tell you the truth. Again, if you look to the left, there's someone else's allotment that's also overgrown. If you look in the distance, it's not exactly tidy over there. And to the right, you can see the abandoned allotment against the mine. So when you take them parts away, it doesn't look that bad, does it? No, but she's trying to play the trickery. That's what she's trying to do. Now I'm zooming in here. There's chaos all around this image. But at the end of the day, that's all she's trying to do, make me do. Make me look bad with all of this surrounding chaos. Okay, let's look to the next picture. I've just noticed something that's quite funny. Most of that image isn't even in fact on my allotment. How funny is that? The bit that is where the bamboo sticks are. That bit is, but the rest of it isn't. Let me look at this picture again. But you see, the rest of that's not really my allotment, because if you look at that angle, she's seen another allotment. So you can cut half of that picture off, because it ain't mine. Just as I was editing, I noticed it, and I thought, oh, I better record that and put that in there. So really, that is proof of her trying to showcase, well, manufacture and make it look worse than it really is. So my bit is at the front, okay? It's not perfect, but it's a little bit of rain. I mean, ooh, wow. You know, it would take 10 minutes to... And you see, boys and girls, why I say she's being petty and she wants me off the allotment. I mean, there's proof right there. Oh, this silly childish woman. It's not gonna work, Kathy. I can see through your little games. Okay, again, excuse that it's not 100% flat. This is taken, again. I don't know if I think this one's different, so I don't know. This is not obviously the same time. I don't know if this is before or after. But again, look to the left. Abandoned allotment. So let's just take all of that away. All of that away. If you look just to the left of the bamboo sticks that are in the bed, just put your hand there. Does it really look that bad? I mean, I have weed membrane down. Clearly it's been cut. And once again, she's trying to make me look like the bad guy. Oh, he hasn't been to the allotment. Why is it, Kathy, you never take pictures of the entire allotment? Maybe because you're trying to hide what I'm actually doing, constantly working. Now, okay, it's a little bit overgrown. Once again, she's caught me between when it rains and me not being able to get down there. That's what she's basically done. Every time I get to the allotment, as you've seen on the bus ticket, it's about £5 for me to get there and back. So every time I have to come to the allotment, I have to spend £5, probably wait anything up to an hour and a half and sometimes even 2 hours there and back. And sometimes I haven't been, or she's caught me within my 3-day window. But what can you see? I grow spuds in these buckets. You can see the weed membrane there, so obviously I'm trying to do something. But I think she's been a bit petty. There's not really much worth talking about. Considering the abandoned allotment, which they should cut down. I mean, if you look on the very top right-hand corner, or up in that direction, look on the weed membrane. It's got grass that I've cut, and it's loose. If you also look, yes, there's a bit of grass and weed where the bits of weed membrane overlap. Well, that's the thing about weed membrane. I never have enough spikes to hold it down. So that's why I hold it, as you've seen in earlier, videos I've uploaded previously. If you've seen them, I've got loads of junk on them. Because this is what happens. A little bit of rain and boom. And she's constantly getting on at me for this. This is working on an allotment. This is what happens. Every person that works on an allotment goes through this. So again, it doesn't prove anything. It proves on whatever date this was taken, it was like that. But again, she doesn't take the pictures of the area that I'm working on. No, she doesn't. No. And this makes it look, once again, like this is all my allotment. Well, You see the wooden thing on the left? Where it's got like an X shape? Its feet, legs. Past that is not my allotment, as I said. So just cut that off and tell me, does that really look that bad? Does it? Or is she being a little bit petty that ooh, a bit of rain's come down, a bit of growth. Let's come down on him. That's somebody, to me, that's very petty, very childish, outright just trying to get me evicted, and really just, as I said, petty. Very, very petty. See, personally, I've got to laugh at this picture. I really do. She's really trying hard to make me look like a bad guy. Really, really trying. As you can see, a lot of the grass is died off because of my weed membrane and cutting, and little small amounts of weed. Even in the bed that's been covered over, it's died off. Grass doesn't die off for no reason. Just petty, petty, petty. And upon zooming in the picture, you can actually see loose weed and grass, what I've actually worked on. Thank you, Kathy, for showcasing that I've actually done some weeding and cut the grass back. That is hilarious. Trying to make me look bad, but in actual fact, when you zoom in, you can actually see that I've pulled weeds and grass out. Kathy, 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 you and your games don't really work very well, do they? Half of this, again, isn't even my allotment. And as you can see, there's a lot of grass that's died off. But again, a little bit of rain, you get some growth. I've even got a video where I talk about how fast grass and weeds grow. Is that it? I mean, I think it's quite tidy, to be honest. Not perfect. A long way from perfect, but come on, Kathy. You haven't really tried on this one, have you? I'll zoom in again. It's not that bad at all. You see the weed membranes there? It's not doing a very good job. You see, and a lot of this that she takes pictures of is actually loose grass. Because if you look where, I don't know if you can see it without zooming in, where it's all died off is all loose. If you look in the beds, for example, there's lots of loose, dead grass that I've picked. And if you also look carefully, you can see the black stuff, which is weed membrane. So, again, that just proves that I'm trying to do something. But you've caught me again between now. Well done, Kathy Kramer. You must have sat there for the whole month waiting. Oh, we've had a bit of rain. Let's take some pictures, and calls me grief. Very childish, very absolutely petty. Now, we're going to look at one that she must have had a field day over. This was taken, if I remember rightly, at the beginning of the grow season. What can we see again? Weed membrane, which over the winter hasn't held very well. There's flaps of it everywhere. And I still don't think it looks that bad. I mean, it's not good enough for growing and it doesn't look very nice, but again, it's not that bad. Look at the abandoned allotment to the left. And this bit at the front, a lot of that is actually loose and it's piled up. Not all of it, I will grant her that. And there's some bits of grass that got pretty long. And she's only taking the picture again to make me look the bad guy. Because if you look right at the back, I'll even try and take a screenshot of this. Right at the back, it does not look that bad. Again, you have to discard what's on the left, just to the left of the bamboo sticks. And as you can see, it's not that bad. You'll also see weed membrane. She's really trying, isn't she? And this is the point of this video. She's really trying to bring a point over are something which I think is pretty laughable, petty and childish. Because I've probably been to the allotment numerous times before this, and she's just caught me. Oh, look, it's not been done. And right as we speak, I'm cropping this image, and I'm going to do 2 versions of this image. And if I don't do it now, well, you know, it probably won't get done. So the first image, now I'm going to cut off the part that's not my allotment, as much as humanly possible, without cutting bits that are my actual allotment. And you will start to see a completely different picture. May have gone a little bit over. It's only a rough thing for the most part. So now that you can see that, it's a totally different picture now. So there you go. Her evidence doesn't really prove diddly. Doesn't prove nothing. What does it prove? On them days, when I have how many YouTube videos and how many videos that have not been uploaded yet showing this is what I'm going to do, then this is me done it. Or until a few months ago, I didn't necessarily do it. So you'd have to add 2 videos. What I need to do from the last video and what I've done on that day. So there you go. Her evidence doesn't really prove nothing. It proves that she's a spiteful bitch. Yeah, it proves that. Proves that she's childish and really trying to get me evicted from my allotment. Well, Kathy, have fun with it, because this video's going on YouTube as well. You know what she reminds me of, meaning Kathy Kramer? You know when you do, I don't know, a bit of hoovering, let's say, and there's always that little person who goes, hey, you missed a bit, you missed a bit, you missed a bit. That's exactly what it's like. The only difference being that she just purposely waits until, oh, he's not been here for 8 days and we've had a bit of rain, so yeah, let's take some pictures, you know, because, you know, let's just give him a hard time, even though he's working his allotment. I hope this video has proved my point, or many points. First and foremost, our evidence doesn't mean nothing. Secondly, it's quite laughable, the games that she's trying to play, because we've already proven and exposed that. Thirdly, she's clearly got a grievance, and she shouldn't be involved with anything investigation-wise or something, when she's clearly this close. I mean, would this work in a court of law? If she was a lawyer and she's got a grievance for someone, do you think the judge is just going to sit there and go, well, you've got an issue with the person here, and we're going to let you prosecute against them? Come on now. It's like Hitler picking his own fucking jury. And she's got hair wrapped around her little finger. Oh well, peace and love everyone. Take care. Thanks for your time.